I believe that leadership is sometimes you, as you're young growing up, you look to others in leadership and say, I like how that man or that woman is. I like that. I want to be like that. Because you're not a leader as a young man growing up. I mean, you have some leadership traits, maybe as a quarterback on a football team or simple leadership. But men's lives are in your hands. So whatever leadership I'm going to put them in harm's way as my Marines in training or my firefighters, you have to learn that. And so I believe, I think you are exposed to it as a young man growing up, and then you start to mature in leadership, and then it's learned.
Okay.
There's like, well, they say this guy's a natural leader. True, but at some point he had to say, well, they always say you have to be a good follower before you can be a good leader.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
Okay.
Because not everybody's just all of a sudden I'm the leader, but at some point you got to cross the line saying something's wrong here, and let me show you why it's wrong and how it's wrong. Let me help you get to the position where you need to be. Whether it be in sports, whether it be your own family with your younger brother, the leadership that you take. Sometimes you just got to step out of being an observer and say, I'm going to lead us.
Yeah.
I remember when I got to my first duty station, I see a sergeant major. And a sergeant major, that's the top enlisted rank that an enlisted man can be. And he was an old salt. He had ribbons from his scapular area here, from his shoulder blade, all the way down his chest. And I could see by the ribbons, the colors of the ribbons, he had a Navy Cross, 5 Purple Hearts, Bronze Star, Silver. I mean, so he had the whole gamut. So as I'm seeing him, because I could see him coming at me, and I'm just a young second lieutenant. I have nothing. I don't even have a good conduct ribbon. I have nothing. However, I have a gold bar on what makes me an officer of Marines. So as we're coming close to one another, he looks at me, and I look at him, and he should have saluted first, because that's the order. He just looks by me, and he walks by me, and he looks at me like this, checks me out, he goes, huh, and walks by. So I thought to myself, holy mackerel. I said, if I say nothing, he'll disrespect me even more. But if I do stop him and say something to the sergeant major, I better have it all together. So I turn around, I take a deep breath, and I turn around and I said, Sergeant Major, and he whips around. The fight is on. He goes, yes, second lieutenant. So he calls me second lieutenant, which was another shot, because he should have just said lieutenant. He called me a second lieutenant because I'm young. I got nothing. I got a brown bar. I'm right out of school. And I just finished infantry school. I finished my armored school. So he was just challenging me. So I said, Sergeant Major, I know now where I'm getting this, I have no idea, but I knew I had to say something to protect my own honor, I guess.
Yeah.
And maybe cross the line of leadership as a Marine. Because what he did to me was disrespectful. As a brother Marine, it was disrespectful. So I said, Sergeant Major, I know I'm a young Marine officer. And I know that you didn't get all those ribbons or keep all those ribbons, or I look upon your sleeve and see all those stripes, because Sergeant Major has stripes from elbow to shoulder blade. I said, or get all those stripes or keep those stripes by the disrespect you just showed my rank. Sergeant Major, because I see the honor and glory that you have brought yourself in the Corps, because I could see where he's been by his color. Korea, Vietnam, era guy, Navy Cross, second highest award under the Medal of Valor. I said, Sergeant Major, I salute you. And I turn and I walk away. My heart is pounding outside my chest. I go, wow, what did I do? And all of a sudden I hear this running. And I look in my peripheral vision, it's him. And he's running back, gets up, turns in front of me. He salutes me. I salute him back, and he goes, Lieutenant, he says, it's my job as the #1 enlisted man on this base that I make sure that you lieutenants got your shit in one bag. And so far, you're looking pretty damn good. I just about faded right there, And that guy, later on, he became my mentor. We would work out together, and But where did I come up with that? I have no idea. But I always like to tell that confrontation, because that's what leadership is. And I brought that when I would go into the fire service, because you know, I made captain very young. I was 5 years on the job when I was a fireman, and then went for captain, and I made it. And now you got senior guys, there's senior firemen that have, you know, more time on you.
Yeah.
So you have to prove to these guys that you are worth your salt, you know. So it's just, you know, just some experiences that happen in life.